Hi gardeners. Started out late 40s this morning, but as you can see, the sweatshirt's gone and the sweat's arriving. What are we working on today? This is our fall root crops, and here are two types of beet. This is a Kogia beet that you see here, and as you can see, the size is now getting close to 2 inches across on the big ones here and here. The smaller ones are still trying to come up, and as you can see, there's a lot of weeds that have been blown in here, and we had about 4 or 5 inches of rain from a nor'easter. So the standard way for me to pull a weed, now I'm just saying it's me, but I think it's a good plan, is to grab it and pull parallel to the ground. Don't pull up, because if you have a weed that's bigger than you think, it could tangle with the weeds of what you're wanting, the roots of what you're going to grow. But if you pull sideways, if here are the roots that you want to grow and these are the roots of the weed, if you pull up, you can pull it out. If you pull sideways, the weed will separate more easily. So I pull at 90 degrees to the plant, parallel to the ground, and the weeds come right out. Some of the problems with autumn, this is a beet that's desperately trying to grow, but grasshoppers have attacked it. This one too. But sometimes you have sacrifice crops, and this one is relatively unhurt, as you can see here. And this is going to grow about another inch or so in diameter when we harvest it. I have seen people wait for a couple of months and they get monster beets, and if that's what you want, grow it the way you like it. But I don't want to challenge the frost that's coming up. And remember, beet leaves are just as nutritious as the beet. So you can have cooked greens with the tops, and you can have beets in the bottom. And personally, I like to boil them and cool them off and chop them up and make it into a beet salad. Put a few microgreens over it and some sort of balsamic vinaigrette. And now you're really having fun growing your own food. But we're not done yet. But wait! Over here, we're opening a new bed. Well, actually, this bed has been fallow all summer. These are autumn cabbage that are growing here, and in amongst those weeds that I'm trying to separate are autumn rutabagas, which will become winter rutabagas. But this is going to be our garlic bed. As you can see, the soil is beautiful and frangible, but it has grass that's grown into it. Now, what do I do with this icky, nasty grass? Well, I start with the hoe, and I'm just trying to peel back the top 2 or 3 inches. I go in on the angle so this penetrates better until I see nothing but dirt underneath. Then I will go to my rake, and as I gently rake toward a certain edge, I'm going to come back toward my feet here. As you can see, most of the dirt is left behind, and most of the grass that's been covering it all summer is brought over to here. Now there's a little soil left in here. Oh, you're just going to throw that away? No. That soil there is going to add microbes to our compost bin. And then later we have a lot of grass that has been mowed that we can then put on the top. We'll water this down so we have the green layer of nitrogen, and then we have the brown carbon underneath. Carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen. One nice viewer asked me, why don't you just mix them together? We're trying to start heat going in the pile, and it's like starting your car. You start with a little richer flow to the engine, then you can thin it out. We need all of those nitrogen-bearing greens for the microbes to attack. That can bring up the initial temperature. And then they'll start eating the carbon, which will keep a base temperature that's lower than an initial surge, but it'll keep the temperature at a higher level for longer so that the pile begins to turn into what this looks like. Here is 1.5 year old compost, rich, and this is our primary fertilizer for our garden. So we have a lot of things to do in the autumn. This is one of my favorite times to garden. We're going to be picking beets in a week or two. We're going to be planting garlic next week, and all winter we'll be managing with cover cloths and things like that, our rutabagas, our cabbage, the remaining beets. We also have spinach and lettuce coming. It's a great time to grow your own food. Bye, folks.